Welcome back everyone to Pokemon Shield Isle of Armor. And yes, we are going to be continuing and taking a look at, I guess, Cupfu, because, you know, new Pokemon kind of got to give it a little bit of chance to shine. We're going to be switching it out with Slowpoke, I suppose. This is going to be interesting. I haven't had Pokemon follow me since, well, Let's Go, but, you know, the last time I remember it being something that... Oh, yeah. Wow. You're pretty slow. Are you going to actually catch up to me? Teleport? Oh, cool. I can talk to Melmetal. That's pretty cool. I don't think we can get anything here, unfortunately. Let's go to that spot, though. Let's go to that spot real quick in the forest. We're not going to be collecting Diglett. I already did that over on Sword, and I mean, it's good for collecting a few of the different forms for Alolan Cantonian Pokemon and all that. Ooh, Zora! Hey, I haven't seen one out in the wild here before. Nice. Cool. Okay. Thought there was more than 2 towers here. Whatever. Okay, so we can dig up some Armorite ore. Let's go ahead and try and see how much we can get. I've had a lot of times where it just doesn't even go the first time. Apparently that's what happened. Sometimes you get lucky though, and it will actually continue and let you get some. But that's only happened to me a few times, so... Anyways, where is this area? Was it across the bridge here? No, 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 no. Okay, we haven't got over here yet because we didn't have the bike. We can't get over there yet anyways, so... Great. I think it's over here, yeah. They have yet to... Wait a minute. No, they fixed it. I think. No, they haven't. Yeah, you could see right through it. Unfortunately. Very far, but still you could see right through it. Well, isn't that an adventure? Alright, why don't we get to one of these towers and see what's up with them. Anyways, let's go on into this tower and check it out. Are you ready? I'll probably put that at the end of the... So I had a little discussion there. I'll probably put it at the end of the video. But it's a pretty interesting topic. You're not ready yet to climb this tower. Leave this place. Hey, Draco. You've got to see the view from here. Okay, why don't you and Cupfu enjoy the scenery together? Sure. Are now best friends. Mr. Musher should be really happy to see how well you're getting along. Alright, I'll be right back with you once I get back here, because I'm not going to deal with this. Alright, so, went through a lot, but here we are. I think there's 2 more left. So we go over to the desert, and then we go over to somewhere else that's closer to the dojo. Alright. Let's check this view out. I could tell they're very proud of making these areas, and they're very... Yeah, I gotta say, they did a really good job. Although I would admit, for the desert area, I would like it if instead of making it in like a mountain, I mean, it makes sense though where they have it, but I would like it if it seems like it stretches on forever and you just can't see the end of it. Or maybe it's like what they do with the water, where it continues to stretch on but you just can't keep going. That would make it really, really cool. But you know. I mean, it feels very big. It's just making it in like a stadium feeling circular area. It just kind of makes it feel a bit smaller than it actually is. But now we need to go over to one last place. Right over here. Loop Lagoon. I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to go there. The Dene. It's from Generation 6. Still remember Generation 6. It was one that was very, I guess, decisive for me. I don't know. I didn't really play much of it when it first came out. It took me like a year or more to kind of decide that I was going to go back to it because it changed. It really did change Pokemon for me. The way that how I liked Pokemon and stuff like that. I used to just play the 2D Pokemon. That's kind of what Pokemon was for me. It's kind of like the Sonic situation. You have your 2D Sonic, then you have your 3D Sonic, and I was more so with the 2D, but then again with Sonic, I was with 3D, so that's kind of an opposites, but complementary. I don't know. Interesting there, though. But yeah, I was mostly interested in the 2D Pokemon games. And then I got around to the 3D ones. They're not bad, and I've played recently Coliseum, but XD Gale of Darkness and stuff before. So, I mean, I've played 3D Pokemon games, so it's not like I haven't ever done it before. But at least now I'm more up to it. It took a while to get used to it because I was just so used to the format of 2D. I would love it, though, if in the future that they did make one that's kind of like Link's Awakening, I think it was, where they have the old style of it being 2D, but they also mesh it with 3D. That would be really cool to see in a Let's Go Johto setting. Let's just say that. That would be a really cool way of doing it if they do Let's Go Johto. I would love to see it in that style. Also, I'd love to see no more of that catching Pokemon without battling them stuff. That is honestly stupid. I get what you're going for, but I mean, come on. It's really hard to enjoy the game if I can't battle Pokemon and get... I mean, I don't just play Pokemon to catch... I mean, I love to collect them, but I like to battle Pokemon. That's kind of one of my main reasons for playing, is to battle them and collect them both, not just one or the other. And it just feels like you isolate the fan base by saying you're not going to be able to battle them, or you're going to be able to. And it's just not right. It is absolutely to do the game like that. And I think even the people that were new to the game wouldn't have, you know, I don't think it would have made a difference for new people coming to the game if you could battle Pokemon that were wild. I don't think it would have made any difference. But it almost makes me wonder if that was a way to keep people from talking about there not being all Pokemon in the game. Or not in the game, but, you know, that you can't transfer all Pokemon over to the game. I think that was the reason they did something like that, was to distract people, maybe. I mean, they might have actually intended to do it, but it just seems so out of place for what the problem is with Pokemon, and I really hate to say this, but sometimes they say one thing and they do another thing. Like when it comes to, well, we always want to make sure you can have all your Pokemon in the game, and then, no, they're going to cut them. And I understand why, but, you know, you go expecting something because they said it. I mean, I don't just expect things that they don't say, but, you know, when they give their word that they are trying their best to do it, I expect them to keep that mentality and say that they're going to keep trying to get Pokemon in the game, you know, that they're going to work hard to do that, instead of saying, well, some Pokemon just aren't going to be in this game. Yeah, and obviously I still have, from the looks of it, I'm still not going to get my favorite Pokemon in here. It's a lot of people's favorite Pokemon. I'd love to see Greninja over here in Sword and Shield, but doesn't seem like they're going to do it. I wouldn't mind it over time getting all Pokemon in this game. And so before we get started right here, I'm going to have a little mini discussion. So here's one thing I would really love to see. So, you know how I already discussed the Let's Go Johto and stuff like that, and it kind of applies to that a little bit. But when we see a Diamond and Pearl remake, you know, I absolutely want to see all Pokemon available in that game. But I will give them this. There's two ways I could see this working, maybe. One, they include the remakes in this formula, or two, they do like a Let's Go styled game in between each of the, you know, the games that are full Pokemon games, so not like remasters, but rather full new experiences that are not. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Let's Go was kind of like a remaster more than a remake, but it was a new game. It was a very odd game to consider what it actually is, but I view Let's Go as more of a remaster than a remake, and I view it as a retelling, a remaster, but a retelling. It's not necessary. I mean, I think it's in the main games, but I think it's meant to be in the main games back in the time when the first games came out. I think it's meant to be in that time period there, but all the other Pokemon that have come after it. Now, when you say Alolan forms and things like that, obviously that's confusing, and if I'm being honest, they probably shouldn't include Alolan forms in the game if they're not going to include all Pokemon. Does not make sense to me, especially if they're going to go on the remaster formula instead of the remake formula. I'm just saying, it's a different thing, and I think it's cool to have a remaster that's kind of just the old game. Maybe the story is a bit different. I get where the remaster is. It's really just taking the same game, but it's more along the lines of a remaster than a remake when you consider that not all Pokemon are in it, not all the features that we're normally used to in newer games. So yeah, I put it more of a retelling / remaster hybrid there of the original story. And I guess it kind of ties in. It's really, really I don't know what the word is, but the way that it was done is definitely confusing. Really is. And it's meant to be a simple game, but if they're going to just tie it into everything else, they really need to be... I think they should have done it a little differently. I think they could have done it a little less confusing and kept everything exactly the same, to be quite honest. It's just, story-wise, they really, really could have tried to make it a new game instead of keeping the old stuff. That's where it got confusing. They really should have just made it its own thing. But I think you should still transfer Pokemon between it, because, I mean, we had Ranger and different things like that. You could transfer Pokemon from some Wii games and things like that. So, I think you should transfer Pokemon. That's the whole... the thing for me, the whole thing that really drawed me into Pokemon was the fact that over the years, you get to keep the Pokemon that you've caught in your older games because you can transfer them up. That's the appeal to me of Pokemon, is that every single journey I've had in the past I can bring to the future, and I'm still waiting to be able to bring my Pokemon up, because I'm not going to just go ahead and pay money to then be stuck without some of my Pokemon, I want to be able to bring them into one game. I don't want to keep them in a paid service and have to pay to keep my Pokemon that I've worked for so many years to get. It's not like it's easy to get all the Pokemon, but from all the years I've been playing it, I have gathered all of them from prior generations to this one. I plan on collecting the rest from this generation too, and whatever the next one is. So I really do hope that, at least in combination with Diamond and Pearl in this game, the Diamond and Pearl remakes in this game, that I can transfer all the Pokemon over. But what I would really like, and the way I would like them to do it, is if the Let's Go styled games, they can do them in the middle of these games. That gives them a little more time to develop the remakes and the main news story, or whatever you call it, the new story games, new generations. That is what it is. So remakes and new generations. And what they can do is the remakes and new generations, the way that they have them spaced out, hopefully, because they would have another game in between, they could put all the Pokemon in them, but they could update them as they do the Let's Go styled game. They could put updates to them as they make the next one, where they start adding more Pokemon. Now, my suggestion is that they come up with an automated system to bring Pokemon from older generations into the newer ones. Something that can kind of, like a smart system that just kind of takes whatever their asset is and converts it over into the new one. And considering some of the things that PlayStation is doing, I see that it's possible when it comes to software that, and from my own experience with software, it is absolutely possible to convert from one form to the other. And I get that they might want to do like their own little details and things like that, but you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to Nintendo games and stuff like that, and I get me as our Game Freak Pokemon Company, all those confusing things, honestly, you know what I mean, so I'm not going to even name in which one it is. You can look up which one, but I'm just talking in general here. The main thing that Nintendo games have been, and I think a lot of people have even said this, they're just supposed to be fun games. They're not supposed to be like this high graphic fidelity, and they never try to be something that's 4K or any of that. They're just meant to be fun, maybe have a cool art style or something. They're not meant to be like this 4K and all of this stuff. And I get that they're moving over to from handheld over to side of a hybrid handheld and televisions system. So, but it's not like it's something that hasn't been done with Pokemon, and you know, and admittedly they have done a lot better than previous attempts that have been made for bringing Pokemon over to the television, because obviously, you know, Coliseum and XD didn't really have that many Pokemon from the generation. It was very few of them. So, you know, they have made an improvement there. Obviously, the same people didn't make it, but, you know, they're all combined together, obviously, and I'm sure they communicate with each other or something of that sort. I don't even know if they redirect teams. I don't know what they do, but I know that they all make Pokemon, and obviously there's someone over there that manages all of that, that obviously he's making these decisions. You know, I don't know. There's definitely things that can be done. You can have more than one company working on Pokemon games at the same time or whatever. You know, more than one team, I mean. You don't have to have... You could just have multiple teams for multiple ones. You can do it... I don't really like to say it like this, but do what Call of Duty did. Have one team that works on the new generation, one team that works on the remakes, and one that works on the Let's Go. I think that if you do that, the 3-cycle, every year you get out a Pokemon game, and you can make sure they connect to each other. Just a suggestion there, but, you know, probably won't happen. Get to it next time I'm in the mood to mess with it, which probably won't be that long away, in all honesty. But, you know, I will be getting into that. And with that being said, I do hope that you have enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and save here. And, you know, there's still stuff to check out here, obviously, but, you know, we'll just have to see what kind of stuff happens in the next video. But for today, that is going to be it. And I guess Zora was saying bye. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.